Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing well too. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Is this your first panel?
Actually, yeah, I've done like singular ones for Desales before, but never a panel.
It's probably the same.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're just talking to the screen, right? Hey, Chelsea.
Hi, how are you?
But how are you both doing?
Well, how many panelists are there in this session?
2 more coming.
2 more? Cool.
Yes. See, I can't remember. Refresh my mind. We're the ones using the presentation. I conducted the presentation. Obviously, that's what's happening. It's been a Thursday. We're the ones sharing the screen for the presentation, correct?
I am not. That's correct. I will share the slides for StriveScan, and then as soon as whomever it is sharing for you guys, it will automatically bump mine off and put yours on.
Do you want to do that, Chelsea?
I can, yeah, that's what I was just double checking
Okay.
to make sure it's all ready.
Oh, he's got a
Hello.
bow tie.
Oh, so fancy.
Looking
Oh,
sharp.
I may break out the tie for this one.
There you go.
Travis, how you doing?
I brought one.
Good, how are you?
Doing okay. It is a Thursday, folks. We are almost to the weekend.
Almost doesn't count.
No, that's fair. Let's see. And to our StriveScan person, liaison, what is your name?
My name is Stacy. Yes.
Her name is
Stacey was
StriveScan 40, duh.
StriveScan 40 is my nickname. And only the coolest of cool can call me StriveScan 40.
That is the cutest nickname I've ever heard.
So I may have internet issues. Is there somebody that I can make a co-host so in case I have to, like my internet cuts out, it will automatically jump to someone else?
Chelsea.
Sure. I'll take the
Yeah?
co-host and I've got the presentation.
Do you want Chelsea Rutt to co-host this meeting? I sure do. There you go. So we're all here, right? All of the attendees, sorry, the panelists?
Mm-hmm.
All right, excellent. I'm going to go over the housekeeping items. We're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Wait, I have to do that first. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start broadcasting the session right at the top of the hour, so directly at 5 o'clock. I will begin with an opening slide and a few housekeeping announcements. Then I'm going to stop sharing my screen, either myself or by whomever. Is it Chelsea that's sharing her screen? I will turn off my video and I will turn off. It'll all turn over to you panelists, okay? We'll end right after 45 minutes, past the hour, unless you're done a little bit sooner. We will be recording the presentation, and it will be available to the students who attend as well as the panelists. It'll be available on the NJACAC website on demand later, probably in about a week to you guys. I will be turning my video back on and sharing a final housekeeping slide at the end. There is a questionnaire that they are asking for feedback from the participants and the attendees, okay?
Would you be sharing that at the 45-minute mark, Stacey, or before the 45?
Yes, right at about the 45-minute mark, or shortly thereafter. We are allowed to, like, if we're going to run over a little bit, then maybe a minute or two we can go past. Okay. StriveScan will send you the list of every student that has registered for your session and a transcript of any and all questions that were submitted in the Q&A will be sent to each of you within a week. Students can ask their questions only by using the Q&A chat box. You can go ahead and click the Q&A button now to open the window. And we do recommend that you do not answer by using the Answer Live button. That will share the student's full name and question with the entire audience. Instead, we just recommend that you simply repeat the question aloud for the entire audience and then answer it verbally. You can then click the Dismiss button to hide the question, and you can also type your response by clicking Type Answer button, but we do recommend that you send that privately to the student who has asked the question. You may not get to every question, and that's okay. You will receive the transcript of all the questions submitted from StriveScan to follow up with your students at a later time. If you get a lot of questions, you may want to go ahead and acknowledge that there was a flooding of questions that will be responded to after the session. If you're going to go ahead and share your screen, I recommend that you go ahead and try sharing now to test it out to make sure everything is a go. And heads up for the end of the session, when the session is done, I will end the webinar. That will disconnect all of us, so we won't have time to chat afterwards. So I'll just say thank you to each of you panelists now ahead of time. We do appreciate your participation in this college exploration. So it looked like the screen was shared fine, right? Okay, if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, go ahead. You have about 3 minutes or shortly less than that.
Chelsea, you're going to share it for everybody.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Mark, congratulations, by the way. Good to see you, friend.
Congrats.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Can't really hear you, Mark.
Ooh, congratulations.
Chelsea, can you hear him fine?
Your audio is really muted. I don't know if you want to try headphones.
I can't hear him.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah.
Good.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. So, Chelsea, are you going to share the presentation for all of us, or should we do that when we present?
I mean, since we each only have one slide and we each have 5 minutes within the thing, I can just hit next.
Very cool. All right, sweet.
Go on. Would any of you gentlemen like to do the introductory slide? Or offer up the ability to send questions in through the Q&A throughout the session?
I can tell me
Anything's
what
fine
to
with
do and I'll
me.
do it. You know that, like.
I can intro us.
Thank you, Travis. Yes, and say that, we'll get to as many questions as we can. If not, we'll be following up with them afterwards. Customer service folks.
Is there any person in particular that's going to focus on the questions, or?
Good question. That was what I was thinking. I mean,
I
we going to
have
wait?
2 screens right now.
Okay. So do we want to wait until the end to answer all of them? Or like if they come in while we're talking, do we want to do it?
Wait till the end, because if we each have 5 minutes, then we have 10 minutes for the shared
Yeah.
slide, 5 minutes for Q&A.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I can just, like I said, I have 2 screens, so I can just pose them to you guys, to everybody.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
About 10 more seconds.
Are we introing? So we'll each introduce ourselves on our own slides. Is that correct? Okay.
Makes it easy.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and broadcast and do my intros. Good luck. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all New Jersey students, sponsored by New Jersey Association of College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. A few housekeeping announcements before we do get started. Sorry. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and your microphone are already automatically set to off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening in this virtual college exploration. So be sure to check out the full schedule at njACAC.org/virtual fair. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, njACAC.org/virtual fair. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Good evening. My name is Travis Hoshauer, and I am here today with Albright College, Arcadia University, and Desales University. I am representing Alvernia University, and we're going to be talking about small liberal arts colleges in Pennsylvania.
All right. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Detterline. I'm the Assistant Director of Admission here at Albright. And so we're all going to just fly through a little bit about each of our respective colleges. And then at the end of this, you can go ahead. We're going to have questions. You can pose those to us as we go through, but we're going to wait until the end so that we can answer them at the end. But just to give you a brief rundown of Albright College, we're in Reading, Pennsylvania, so it's about an hour-ish outside of Philly, northwest. It's a small college, so we're talking about 1,600 undergrads. Most of our students are going to live on campus. The students that don't live on campus are going to be commuters. We have a couple of very popular programs. Some of them are quite common, some of them are not so common. Biology is our most popular major on campus, especially our pre-med and pre-vet programs. We have a couple articulation agreements. We send students out to Penn State Hershey for medical school quite often. And our veterinary program is our most successful pre-professional program. About 94% of the students that go through that program are going to get into veterinary school the first time they apply. Our fashion, merchandising, and design programs are both nationally ranked among small private liberal arts colleges. Students frequently seek us out for those programs, specifically for the design aspect, mixed with merchandising. At a lot of institutions, you kind of have to choose a path, and we like to mix them together. You kind of notice that as well with music industry studies. That is essentially a program where you learn to perfect your craft, but at the same time, you're also going to be in a position where you can learn how the industry operates and works, so that once you get out into the workforce or out of grad school or wherever your path takes you, you'll be in a really good position to take on the world and really know how the music industry is operating. Education is another super popular major here on campus. We do offer a 4+1 program where you can stick around for an additional year, get your master's degree in education. So that's a popular program that a lot of students are going to take advantage of. You can do that elementary and secondary and special ed as well. And then our psychology department is also a pretty popular one. The students in our psychology program are going to do one of two things. They're going to go a clinical heavy route. So if they're interested in being a clinician or maybe going into research, that'll be the route they take. And if they are more interested in kind of taking it a social work route, they'll concentrate on child and family studies. Our mascot is the Lions. We are a fairly athletic campus. About 30% of the students on our campus are student athletes. We have 25 varsity sports, including our co-ed varsity esports team. And then our motto is truth and justice, and we try to embody that all the time here on Albright's beautiful campus on the side of Mount Penn. All right.
Good evening. My name is Travis Hoshauer. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions for Counselor Relations at Alvernia University. We too are located in Reading, Pennsylvania, about an hour north of Philadelphia. We serve traditional undergraduate students, much like many of you will be, from over 25 different states, 14 countries. We serve veterans, adult learners, and also students seeking a graduate degree. Alvernia was founded by the Bernardine Franciscan Sisters in 1958. And we're guided by the Franciscan ideal of knowledge joined with love. We serve about 1,500 undergraduate students with 3,000 considering our graduate studies programs. And we host a lot of different students that have core values, whether it's becoming an ethical leader or finding the moral courage to serve. We've recently been recognized as a college of distinction for student engagement, equity and inclusion, career development, support of our student and military members, and for programs such as business, nursing, education, which each ranked as outstanding for their rigorous curriculum. In regard to some of our majors, nursing, occupational therapy, doctor of physical therapy, 3+3 are definitely some of our most popular ones. Our nursing major has its own building on campus, which is called our Nursing Resource Center. Occupational therapy serves as a 3+2 program in such a format. Doctor of Physical Therapy is a 3+3 program or 4+3 for students as well. We also have athletic training, healthcare science, business, and communications, to name a few. Our business and communications programs will be moving to our newest building downtown called the Opaque Institute in College Town of Reading. And there will be a business incubator there, as well as some other opportunities for our students to get that real world learning experience. Regardless of the major, all of our students benefit from a rigorous liberal arts curriculum that we call SEARCH. This program helps our students develop critical thinking skills, become effective communicators, hone their writing skills, and develop cultural competency skills for an ever-evolving global society. Outside of the classroom, we have about 25 intercollegiate sports teams, 40 student-run clubs and organizations, and our campus activities board plans events such as bingo, movie nights, road trips, comedy shows. There's always something to do for our students during the week and the weekends at Alvernia. All of our students also benefit from the Alvernia Advantage, which offers real-world learning experiences through service learning, internships, clinical experiences, student teaching, networking in the community with people that are experienced in the major of your choice. So there are always going to be opportunities for our students at Alvernia.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Root. I'm an admissions counselor at Arcadia University, located in Glenside, Pennsylvania. We're about a half-hour train ride just outside of Center City, which makes us a great access point in terms of internships, networking, and just enjoying the city on the weekend. So Arcadia has about 2,100 undergraduate students, about 1,300 graduate students, and I think of it in the way that you'll recognize people everywhere you go, but it's not like your high school. You've grown up with these people since kindergarten and you see the same faces day in and day out. And we have students returning from study abroad opportunities, students transferring in, so you have enough fresh faces to have that feel. With our student population, some of our most popular programs are biology, similar to the last two schools. With that, our pre-health programs, specifically our doctorate of physical therapy and our graduate physician's assistant program, are two of the most popular programs that we have. In addition to that, we have psychology and then business, as well as art. And art can be anything from studio arts, which would be drawing, painting, printmaking, to scientific illustration, which combines biology and illustration, and then to our history and political science department, in which we have a variety of options for you there. And at Arcadia, we don't just believe in you locking in as soon as you come in. You're able to choose your major at the end of your first year. So if you come in undecided, super okay. So you come in, and during that time, you take some of our Arcadia undergraduate credits, which are kind of like general education courses, but we tailor them to our own students. So you take that to figure out what you want to pursue. And then during your 4 years at Arcadia, you're able to mix and match and have the major that you want, like maybe biology with the example of a minor in creative writing or drawing or something else that wouldn't normally go together, but we're passionate about you finding your passion. Our mascot is the Knights. We do have, as of this fall, we'll have 26 Division III sports, the newest ones being men and women's ice hockey, and then we have a co-ed esports team. with our athletics, if you're not interested in playing the D realm, the D3 realm, but you would like to get involved, we also have a lot of recreational sports, or intramural sports, I should say. And we have 60 active clubs on campus that you can get involved in with as well. We don't have an official motto, but I like to say that it is just pursue your passion, whether it's studying abroad, finding a minor that just interests you, picking up a hobby in Philadelphia, or starting a new club on campus. It's all about finding what you're passionate about.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Brendan Graham. I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor here at Desales University, located in Center Valley, Pennsylvania. We are about an hour 15 northwest of Philadelphia, 15 minutes from Quakertown, and about 20 from Allentown. A spot on the map that I like to tell a lot of students is Dorney Park, which is an amusement park, and it's actually Snoopy is the mascot of Dorney Park. So if you've ever seen that or heard about that, we're located right by there, about 20 minutes south. We are on our little college campus bubble. So once you pull on campus, you're surrounded by DeSales environment. About 1,700 undergraduate students. So as Chelsea kind of said, and as the other school said, it's not too small where you're going to know everyone, and it's not like your high school where you're going to get bored seeing the same people, but it's also not too big because there's always the chance to make new friends and to make new memories. That was really kind of beneficial for me when I was a student here at DeSales. And 70% of our students do live on campus as well. So student life is thriving. There are 50 plus clubs on campus that students can get involved with, some related to their major, some totally off the wall. There's, for example, there's Student Nurses Association, there's the Accounting and Finance Club, but then there's also Table Tennis Club, Ultimate Frisbee, Campus Activities Board, which makes sure that there's something going on every single night for students, whether it's bingo, movie night, as Travis said earlier, kind of road trip, bringing comedians on campus. There's always something to do on DeSales campus. Three of our big kind of divisions on campus are our healthcare, our business, and our performing arts. So our healthcare programs draw students from all around the country, specifically our physician's assistant program. It's an accelerated 3+2 program. So you finish your bachelor's degree in 3 years and you graduate with your master's in 5. Our nursing program is great. You graduate in 4 years with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and DeSales nurses are very reputable around the area in the Lehigh Valley. The hospitals know DeSales nurses know what they're talking about. Within the business division, we have about 12 different concentrations that students can do. Accounting and sports management are just 2 examples of those. We want to highlight those because sport management, there's actually a built-in 12-credit internship that students have to have before they graduate. We're also located by 2 D1 institutions, and a lot of students do their internships there, but we're also located by the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, which are our AAA baseball team, the AHL Lehigh Valley Phantoms, which are the minor league team for the Philadelphia Flyers, and there's a lot of other opportunities as well. In the accounting, we actually have a 4.5-year MBA option as well as a forensic accounting option. So a lot of students come here for those 2 programs. And then performing arts. We're very well known for our dance, theater, and TV film. Our theater program puts on 6 main stage acts every single year. They've done The Jungle Book in the past. They've done Pippin. They've done Grease. They do all the big name plays, and then some of the plays that you may not have even heard of. And they're great. Community members come and see the theater shows, and they're all put on 100% by the students here at DeSales. Our mascot is a French Bulldog, which in my opinion, it kind of seems tough to make a French Bulldog seem fierce and competitive. But as you can see in the background, somehow they did it with the logo. We have 19 varsity sports that play Division III in the MAC Freedom Conference here at DeSales. But we also have intramural sports and then club sports as well for those students who maybe played in high school but don't want to commit to a varsity sport in college. And our motto is be who you are and be that well. So Desales University is actually named after St. Francis de Sales. He was a French bishop back in the 15th, 16th century, and he was very big on living the simple life. So you can't worry about the past. You can't worry about the future. All you can take care of is the present. And we want you to bring your whole self with us, with you to campus. We're not going to try to mold you in anything you're not. We want you to come, be yourself, strive for your passions, and graduate in 4 years and be a well-rounded person.
All right, so there are quite a few advantages to going to a smaller liberal arts institution, and a lot of these are going to be attributed to all of the schools that you're meeting with today. But so we're each just going to tackle one or two of these and give you like a little more, a little better of an idea of what these mean. So various study abroad opportunities. The cool thing about study abroad is that it kind of works like a network. So it's very easy for institutions to get students to go abroad. At a lot of colleges, you're going to end up having opportunities to do shorter trips. So whether those are faculty-led trips that go for 10 or 14 days to a country and you get credit for going on them, whether you go for smaller like month trips or even if you do the traditional study abroad for a semester, you're going to have those kinds of opportunities here at Desales, Arcadia, Alvernia, and Albright. Additionally, there is a pretty serious emphasis on experiential learning. So what that means is it's not enough to learn in the classroom. Obviously, that's an important part, but there's far more to it than learning in the classroom. So all of our institutions are going to make sure that we make it a priority to get you out there into the field, whatever your field may be, to know that you're gaining the necessary experience to see if that truly is something that you'd enjoy. Maybe you think you want to be a doctor, and you go and you do observation in a hospital, and you find out that you enjoy the medical field. You enjoy that kind of stuff, but you have no desire to be a doctor. That is equally as helpful as helping you figure out that you do want to be a doctor. So whether those are internship opportunities, observation opportunities, experiential learning can be can happen on study abroad trips. Study abroad in and of itself is experiential learning. You're getting out there, you're stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit. So these are all going to be super options for you to kind of get out there and make sure that what you're looking for is actually there, and maybe find out that what you're looking for isn't there and you need to switch up what it is that you're interested in. Most schools are going to have offices on campus that can help you accomplish both of these things as well. So the way that is structured is going to depend on the college. But there are typically people on campus that can help you figure out study abroad, help you navigate the process of getting that set up and where you're going to go and how you're going to afford it and things like that. And then as far as experiential learning is concerned, there's typically an office on campus as well that will be able to kind of push you towards internship opportunities. Maybe they'll have a system set up where you can search local internship opportunities or internship opportunities back home or something like that. So these are both going to be facets of all of the colleges that you're hearing from today.
Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about the attention that you're going to receive from coming to a small liberal arts school like Alvernia, Albright, Desales, or Arcadia. Your professors are going to know who you are. They're going to see you walking on campus. They're going to see you in the dining hall. They're going to see you in the classroom, and they're going to make those connections with you. If you're interested in doing any individual research with a professor, you're going to be able to work on projects or research with them, whether it's during the summer, during the interim, during the actual school year. Those are all opportunities that you're going to have with those professors. Not only that, but we are offering small classes. So you're going to have a really individualized experience in that classroom with the professor. You're not just going to be a name, or you're not just going to be a number or a name on their roster. You're going to mean something, and they're going to know you for many years to come. A lot of your classes will probably be closer to 25, 30 students, as opposed to classes that are 100 or 200 students in a huge lecture hall where the professor has to use a microphone for you to hear them in the way back. So that's going to be one of the really big benefits to receiving personal attention on any of our college campuses. In addition to that, you're going to get to know a lot of different people on campus that might not just be professors. And everybody that you meet along the way is going to be able to help you now and at any time in the future, whether it's through future job opportunities or just advice during your college process. You're going to receive a lot of that personal attention and individualized to you. Alongside that, we are all liberal arts schools, so you're going to receive a well-rounded education. So you're not just going to take classes in your major. You're going to take a lot of courses outside of your major, such as, if you're an English major, you're still going to take a science course. You're probably going to take a math course. You might take a language course or theology or philosophy. You're going to take a lot of courses outside of your major. And there are a lot of benefits to that because you might think that you want to be a nursing major, and it turns out that, you have to take this communications or English course for your gen ed requirements. And you might find out that you really enjoy that subject. And the same could be opposite. You might be an English major and decide, wow, I really like biology. And you might not want to major in biology, but you might like it enough that you can add it in as a minor or something and take a few extra classes to really give you that well-rounded educational experience. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's going to make you, a well-rounded individual and student inside of the classroom for you to take with you out into the real world.
One of the most important parts about your college search process is finding where the scholarships are. It's on everybody's mind. So one benefit to attending one of our small private liberal arts schools is that we're able to provide greater scholarships than some of the public schools are. So in our case, with the merit-based scholarships, we're looking at the courses that you've taken in high school, and that can include anything from a regular curriculum to any honors or advanced placement courses, or if you've taken any courses in college, either at the college itself or through dual enrollment. So we look at the course that you've taken, and then we look at the grades that you've received in those classes. So with that, with each school having a slightly different process, we're able to provide you with a decent range of a merit-based scholarship. So you have this, and then in addition to that, you'll have a financial aid package. Again, with the benefit of being a private school, we are able to offer grants at times, or maybe smaller additional like achievement scholarships, looking at your leadership, looking at your involvement. And that's one of the great things to include in the essay. If the essay is either optional or required, but one great thing to talk about in an essay is to say how you've balanced school and a part-time job and 2 or 3 clubs, or how you've been taking care of your sister while being in school full-time and being on the field hockey team. Whatever it might be, showing balance and showing leadership and showing involvement are really strong options for an essay. So that's on the topic of scholarships. Again, another positive thing that we have going for us as small liberal arts schools is that we have this really vibrant campus life. So again, you are more than just a number. You are an individual with your own passions and dreams and hopes. And so with this, you're able to join a number of clubs. With all of our schools, we have days where you're able to come and meet with the other clubs and activities on campus. Maybe you sign up for 5 or 10 the first week, and you only stick with 1 or 2, and that's a-okay. But you're able to find your place on campus. So whether that's a rock climbing club or a religious club or a club specific to your major, there are a lot of different options for you. At some of our schools, you do have the option for Greek life. And then with our schools as well, we are involved in the community around us. So whether that's joining clubs outside of campus or nearby or with sister schools, you have a lot of different options for that. Within the campus as well, your resident assistant on your hall is an upperclassman who's going to be there for you for a lot of different things, whether it's roommate issues or just pro tips for what to do in the next year. But they normally throw events to help you get to know your roommates and everybody else on your hall. So whether it's a movie night or a night where you decorate something for Halloween, like at this current time, or something else, you're doing things that help you get involved in campus. Most of our schools also have work study opportunities. So whether that's included as part of your FAFSA or something that you're able to just join on campus to earn some money. You're able to get to know other people on campus as well with that, which provides a lot of different great opportunities.
All right, they saved the best for last, everybody. So we're going to talk a little bit about Division III athletics. So I know Travis, Chelsea, Mark, we all mentioned how many varsity sports we have on campus and that we're Division III. Some of you may have aspirations to go Division I and II, and I'm going to tell you to shoot for it. Go, absolutely. But one of the advantages of going to a small liberal arts school, like one of the schools here tonight, is that we actually will allow you to major in something that you're passionate about. So if you're very passionate about nursing, sometimes it may be harder to dual nursing with a sport, with a Division I or Division II sport, just due to the workload of major. Same thing with an accelerated programs. Sometimes it's just particularly hard to match a sport, and you have to choose a sport over your passion or your education, and that's not fair to you. With schools our size, you're able to pair them hand in hand. Our teachers are very good about knowing that you are an athletic student. So if you're going to have games, you're going to be able to work with your professors and let them know, hey, I have a game today. I may have to leave class early. They will tell you, good luck. They'll pat you on the back and they'll be cheering for you. At some other bigger schools, that may not be the case. Also, our coaches are very aware of the fact that you're a student athlete. So you're at college, you're at a university, get an education first. So they understand if you have to maybe be late to practice because you have homework, or maybe you can't make it due to the fact that you have an exam to study for the next day. They're very conscientious of the fact that students need to get their work done first and keep their grades up. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the schools, and if you're an athlete and you want to pursue your passionate sport as well as the passion in the classroom, make sure that you're going to be able to balance them, and that the faculty as well as the athletic staff will work together to make sure that you're getting the most out of your time at that school. And lastly, location, location, location. So you probably hear this a lot with a lot of different things, but it's very true. And we have an advantageous location with all of our schools. Kind of being where we are, we're all around each other in Pennsylvania, but being in Pennsylvania, that means we're about 2 hours or less from Philadelphia, which is a major historic city. I'm from Philadelphia. I love it. Go downtown, this is where the country was born. So that's awesome. We're also near the Jersey Shore, so we're about maybe 2.5 or less hours from some of the Jersey Shores. We're also 2 hours south of New York City as well. So if you are a theater major, if you want to go up to see a Broadway play, if you want to go to Times Square, you have that option as well. We're also near Washington, D.C. So a lot of times our students here at Desales, and I'm sure at the other colleges and universities as well, will hop on a major highway on the weekend and head north, south, east, west, and they can explore the East Coast a little bit. As well, so even just not for fun, it's good for internship opportunities as well too, because being in the Philly area, being in the New York area, if you want to have an internship over the summer or during the school year, it's great to be able to work in those big cities and get real life, kind of real world experience as you're out there. Again, location is something you have to make sure that you are conscientious of during the college search process. Do you want an urban college in a city? Do you want a rural one where it's just the college campus and there's nothing to do around it? Do you want plenty of stores and highways and places to go around the college campus? And I can honestly say and confidently say that all of our universities will have something to do, or little towns around them where you're not just stuck being bored. And that's just kind of locally, as well as think about kind of more regionally in the Mid-Atlantic. There's plenty to do. So just keep in mind with other schools you're looking at, make sure that there's something to do on campus, off campus, and that they have those major cities around them for internship opportunities.
Awesome, thank you. So at this point in time, we are now moving into the Q&A section of our presentation. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A chat box on your screen. So in the meantime, while you think of those questions, here is our contact information to get in touch with us about whatever questions you might have. But in the meantime, several of us here tonight are alumni or alumna from our colleges and universities. So actually, Brendan, would you be willing to say why you chose to attend Desales and why you stuck around while you're there now?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I would be saying positive things about Desales even if this wasn't my job. So a lot of times I joke around with families, like, it helps that they're paying me to say nice things, but I would do it anyway. So honestly, I didn't hear about DeSales until October of my senior year. So a little bit after this time of my senior year in high school, admissions counselors came and spoke to the senior class. And honestly, I just kind of liked the way it sounded. I liked the small town feel. I really liked how there's stuff to do, how the teachers were going to know my name. So I applied actually the next period. I had a free period, went to the computer lab, applied. I visited an open house, and it just felt like home. And that's the best advice I can give you, that if you visit a school and it feels like home, then that's the place for you. You don't want to visit a school and be anxious or be scared or kind of be nervous while you're there on campus for a tour. You want to get there. You want to be welcomed at the door. You want students to hold the door for you, to say hello, to be smiling. And that's what I experienced when I came to my open house. They were all so friendly. Again, they held the door for me. Another important thing, the food was good that they served me too. So always check out the food. If you're going to be living there for 4 years, you're going to like the food. And then, honestly, I kind of ingrained myself in student life while I was here, and that just made each year better and better because I ended up meeting more and more people, making more and more friends, more and more memories. And honestly, I realized, we talked about a well-rounded education earlier, and that's truly what I got. I was a mathematics major, and I'm certainly not working with math now, but being, a well-rounded individual, I realized I liked working with students. I liked helping others. I liked conversation. I liked hearing myself talk and having conversation with others. And this job opened up, and I thought it was just a perfect fit for me because I got to do all those things. I loved DeSales. I got to stick around. I got to help others. I got to have conversations. So again, DeSales felt like home for me, and that's why I've decided to kind of stick around and can see myself staying for years to come.
Great, thank you. To those who just joined, we're currently in the Q&A section. So if you have any questions about Albright, Alvernia, Arcadia, or DeSales, please post them in the Q&A section. So Brendan just talked about why he chose DeSales. I went to Arcadia and graduated a few years ago, and honestly found it kind of by accident. I remember being a sophomore, and somebody just talked about this castle that they'd just gone to see on a college tour, and I was like, well, that's just kind of weird. But then junior year came around, and I'd traveled out of the country for the first time, and was like, well, I think this is something I'd like to do again. And heard about Arcadia just because of their study abroad programs, since they're nationally ranked. So I went to the school, I saw the castle that they're talking about, got to live there for one of my semesters in my first year. But just really felt comfortable walking on the campus. Like Brendan said, it's like you're looking for home, basically your second home, because you'll spend 4 years there or more if you go on to do a master's or a doctorate program. But I just remember feeling super welcome. My tour guide was absolutely phenomenal. We became friends when I later attended Arcadia, and she got to train me, which was sweet. I really appreciate the fact that I could afford Arcadia. I had a really great scholarship, again, merit-based scholarship, and then financial aid package. So I appreciate that I could actually afford to go to school, not take out too many loans. And then I just liked the fact that it was really flexible. So I had these huge dreams for what I thought I wanted to do as a senior graduating, and then got to college and realized that's nothing what I want to do at all. And so since you're assigned an advisor right away, I met with my advisor, was really upfront and said, this isn't the path I want to take, but I don't know what to do now. So we talked about some options, and I ended up going with international business and Spanish, and was like, okay, like we'll take it one step from here. And it worked out to be super perfect. So now I'm actually pursuing my master's to keep learning, to really figure out what I'm doing. But just the attention that they had to make sure that I wasn't just lost along the way was really important to me. So I know Brent and I are both alumni and alumni. I believe, Mark, are you also an alumni?
No, I'm not. My connection to Albright is different. It is one where I grew up in the town that Albright is. So when I say I grew up in the town, like literally 2 blocks away from campus, I broke my arm on the baseball field at Albright when I was 12, playing a pickup football game. So I've known Albright forever. And so that was a big help when I was looking to kind of figure out what I was going to do after college. Most of the reason that I didn't come to Albright was solely because my mom started saying some crazy things like, oh, you can come home and walk the dog, and we can go get lunch together and things like that. And let me tell you, I love my mother dearly, but I did not want to run into her on my college campus. It was just too close for me. So what I ended up doing was I went about an hour away from home, and that worked really well for me. And I think a lot of times that works well for a lot of other students too. I think sometimes it's good to go to a college or a university where you're far enough away that you don't have to worry about running into your mom walking the dog, but you're close enough that if God forbid something happens, your phone breaks, you're having issues, you're sick, and you just don't want to lay in your college bed alone, and you want to come home and get some soup from mom and dad. I think a lot of times that is a good way to kind of bridge it. So that worked really well for me. I think kind of similar to what everybody said. I mean, Albright is definitely a place that is people are going to feel comfortable. People feel like they can be themselves on campus. People come here and they leave here lifelong learners. They leave here wanting to go out and make changes similar to things that they've learned and seen on campus. And so I think that is something that is going to be evident through all of our respective colleges and universities for sure.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point. It makes me think about the question that I feel like students ask a lot, which is what advice am I missing, or what else should I be considering when I'm looking for a school? So actually, Travis, what would you say to students who are asking what else they're missing, or what advice would you give them for their college search?
Sure. So I would definitely, advise students to make sure that you're visiting all of the schools that you're interested in and visit them more than once. One of the difficulties right now, I think, is that we all probably offer shadow visits and overnight visits, but unfortunately, some of us or a lot of us might not be offering those. So check in with those schools and see what experiences they are offering that you can experience something different than just a tour of the campus, and get creative with that, and see where you can go or who you can connect with to kind of see what else is on the campus aside from what you see from the outside or the inside of the buildings. Seeing the students or hearing from a student that might be in your major might be a really helpful thing for you. You might want to know what a student thinks of their courses or their professors. So definitely make those connections with your admissions counselor, because they are the people that can kind of move you and help you find what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think, connecting with your admissions counselor is definitely an important part. Topic of visiting campus. So several of our schools are currently in person. I know that Arcadia is virtual for the semester, but regarding visits specifically, the question is what are our schools offering in terms of visits? So for Arcadia, we are now offering in-person visits as well as our virtual visits and our drive-through audio tours where you can pull it up on your phone and drive around campus with it. But now we're offering in-person tours a few days a week, and that can be found on our website. So Mark, what is Albright doing in terms of tours? And then I'll pose that question as well to Travis and Brenton.
Yeah, so Albright is currently doing in-person and virtual information sessions and tours. So should a student be interested in coming to campus, we can definitely accommodate that. Certainly because of COVID-19, it is definitely limited in our capacity. So we're doing just a few tours a day, and all of those tours are personal tours. So it will only be one family on each tour, and they're designed such that a family will never kind of overlap with another family. And then we also have online options. So if students can't get to campus or they're not interested in coming to campus right now because of COVID, then they can absolutely interact with us on our website as well.
I can hop in here next. So Alvernia University is offering individual tours with a tour guide to families Monday through Friday at 10, 1, and 3 p.m. Well, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m. Aside from those tours, you could also hop on a virtual tour with one of our tour guides on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. And this, well, not tomorrow, but next Friday, we're also offering our first drive-in open house. So that open house will be on Friday, October 9th. And we're very excited to kind of kick that off. And it's going to be a great experience for students. Since we can't offer those shadowing and overnight visits, we figured we'd offer a different type of experience as an open house for students.
All right. Yeah, so kind of basically just echoing what Mark said, Desales is having on-campus tours as well as virtual tours at a limited capacity due to COVID. We do have virtual tours as well. So Monday through Saturday, we're actually doing in-person tours and information sessions. And we do have virtual info sessions as well online. Actually, we're going to have our open houses this year as well virtually, so you won't be able to get on campus, but there'll be faculty presentations, a student panel. I'm sure, you know, the other schools are having theirs as well if they want to chime in. But October 10th is our first open house. So if you want to register, go on the Desales website, and there's going to be a lot more great information there about us.
Awesome. Well, that seems like the end of the questions. Again, if there are any last minute questions, we do have 4 minutes before AstraScan kicks us off. But for those who attended tonight, we just want to say thank you for spending your last 40 minutes with us. We do hope that this was helpful and informational. Please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us, either via email or phone, with any questions you might have or concerns about, going test optional or visiting the campus or anything else at this time. But I will just continue to leave this contact information page up.
Sorry about that. And I just wanted to go ahead and thank you all for joining us today. Thanks to the presenters and the attendees. When you close out this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we would really truly appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for any additional sessions at NJACAC.org/virtual fair. In about a week, you'll find this session available as a recording at that same website, NJACAC.org/virtual fair. Thank you again all for joining, and you all have a good night.